This week has been extremely busy, let me tell you. And I think
Why
it
has
kind
it been busy for you,
Oh,
Abby?
girl, let me tell you
Tell the
why.
amigas what you have been
Let
up
me tell you
to.
why. So, I put in my notice at work. I have been blessed with like an amazing opportunity. It's another tech company. They're really big. They're out there in the Bay Area, Silicon Valley. So your girl's moving up. No, I'm just kidding.
You really are moving up. Get
But
it?
yeah, putting in my notice, and I did 3 weeks instead of two. I just wanted to give my current company as much time as they needed with me to ensure like a smooth transition, as
Yeah.
you should, with any job. And but I've had to have some tough conversations with like upper management and everything. I mean, and in case you guys didn't know, because I didn't know that before, you send that email with your 2 weeks notice, make sure you call your manager and just let them know like, hey, thank you for everything, what you appreciate of your time here, what you've learned, how you've grown. And of course, they're going to ask, why you're leaving and all that. And definitely be honest, but always be positive, just focus on the positive and just have that honest conversation. So I'm glad I did that. Actually, another one, that
That's a
was
really
something,
good tip
yeah.
because, like you said, it's important to talk to them. That way you don't catch them by
You don't
surprise.
blindside them. Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, definitely tip of the week. If you're ever putting in your notice, have that conversation with your manager first.
Yeah.
And so I think that like really set the tone for everything. I know everybody was kind of freaking out at my at our
Yeah.
company. Cause Letty's kind of my backup. So she's involved in like all the stuff
I'm a
that I work
Abby,
on.
don't leave, but we're happy for you.
Yeah. So I know that was the theme. That was the theme is, we're super sad to see you go, but we are so happy for you. And I appreciated that because, every single person was like, you know what? I know like we're going to miss you and you were just a great asset to the company, but, in the end, you need to do what's best for you and
Yeah.
your family. So you had an amazing opportunity, you took it, and we're happy for you. So, um, yeah, it's just been busy like coming up with what I do and updating my notes, and Letty's been down there with me. She's in the trenches with me.
Yeah. So Abby is a really very career oriented woman. I think that she's going to bring a lot of good tips to this podcast. As she just mentioned, she gave you guys some tips on what to do with your 2 week notice. So, yeah, we're really sad to see you go, amiga.
I know. I don't know what it's gonna be like, working at different companies.
You're going to
We're not
kill
gonna
it.
have our Teams chats anymore, but we have the podcast
We have the
still, so
podcast.
we're gonna stay connected. And I'm really happy. Like I think this came about at a perfect time, so that we can make sure, we still stay connected. We're still
And we
constantly
will. We
chatting.
will. We have this
Hmm.
little side hobby that we really enjoy.
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll still be seeing each other on a weekly basis.
Yes, and
Maybe
y'all just stay tuned because you're gonna hear about my first week, and
yes.
definitely a lot of good stuff coming, and I'm
So
sure you can
tell
relate.
us more about this job. Where is it located?
Okay, so this job, so it's a remote. It's permanently remote, and one thing I've noticed, like with the pandemic and everything, like companies are heading towards that remote work
Yeah.
type environment, like a ton of companies. And let me tell you, payroll is like a profession that every company thinks that payroll cannot be remote. You have to be in the office to cut those checks, they have to physically see you in the office. And this pandemic has completely changed the mindset
Yeah.
of almost a ton of companies. And so this is one of them. And so when they reached out to me, they're like, this is a permanently remote position, but we are headquartered, in the Bay in San Francisco, and they just opened another office in Oakland, which is where like the finance team is. In which Bay Area, San Francisco, California. I'm sure y'all are familiar with with the Golden Gate Bridge and all that. So,
Full
I was like
house.
so excited about it, and I told the producer, aka my husband, I was like, dude, how cool would it be if we like took a trip to the Bay and just like went to go look at the office and just to kind of see the environment, because I'm
Yeah.
sure at some point I'll have to go into the office to meet the team and everything. But yeah, so that's what we did last weekend, amiga. We went to Oakland. and we
How
were
did you
driving up.
like the office building, the area where it's located?
I mean, okay, the Bay
How was that
Area is
experience?
kind of different from Central California. I mean, from where I live in Clovis, it's not Clovis, that's for sure. But I mean, it's in downtown Oakland, so you have a ton of restaurants around there. Um, but another thing too is like where you have like thriving, businesses, you also have a ton of homeless people
Right.
around.
Yeah.
So like I think it's super cool, the location, the building looks cool. There was no sign in the building, so I couldn't even like take a picture in front. I was like, I am not gonna take a picture in front of these boarded up windows.
Yeah, so to add some context, a lot of the buildings are boarded up,
Yeah, they are.
not just only because of the pandemic, because, earlier we had some of the
Like
riots going
riots,
on.
yes.
So,
Yeah. So a lot of
yeah.
businesses were
So, did
prepared.
you take the picture in front of the boarded
Girl,
up
no.
building?
I was like, I look like I'm in front of like a disheveled building. I'm not taking a
I thought
but
that's a really neat idea. One of our friends also did that when
yeah,
she
yeah.
got her job in the Bay, and it's
Girl,
just
you know who
a
you are. No, just
shout out to our friend Crystal.
like
Yeah, but I thought that was a really unique idea, especially like you said, because you're remote
yeah.
and it's not like you're going to be going into the
No.
office very
Mhm.
often, only for like special occasions. And, we don't know when that will
Right,
be.
right. It's true. And so, yeah, I didn't get a picture, but I definitely got to see the building just to see the area.
Yeah.
Like picturing, okay, if I come into the office, where am I going to get my coffee? Like,
Where are you going to
where am
eat?
I
What
gonna
are the
eat?
restaurants you're
But
going to
like,
try
no,
out?
no joke, no joke. I'm like, this isn't the kind of place I'm gonna be walking around after dark. Like,
Not
it's
in your little
definitely
heels,
no,
your
not in
cute
my
heels.
heels. Like, yeah, no, definitely not a place I would kind of walk around in after dark. But it was super cool, like being out there.